Tara here. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about feeding your dog a vegan diet. Let you in on a little bit of information about my vegan dog Pepsi, give you the dog food recipe that I use, and also answer some Q&A, your most frequently asked questions about vegan dogs. First off, I just want to say that dogs are nothing like cats. They are not obligate carnivores. If you take a dog like my dog Pepsi, he is a domesticated, kind-hearted, loving sheep herding dog. He's nothing like a cat, he's nothing like a wolf, he's nothing like any of his wild ancestors. He is not an obligate carnivore, and he can thrive on a vegan diet. And most dogs out there can also thrive on a vegan diet. Our dog Pepsi has been vegan for 2 years now, and we have noticed so many incredible benefits. He has more energy, his fur is so much softer and so much shinier. He doesn't have any dandruff in his fur anymore. He loves his food, and we can rest easy knowing that the food we feed him isn't contributing to any kind of animal cruelty. So what do we feed our vegan dog? I cook up a batch of vegan dog food once a week for Pepsi. Homemade, vegan, mostly organic, good quality food. And it equals out to about 1.5 cups of this food, this home-cooked meal, every day for about 7 days. In addition to his home-cooked meals, he also gets 1 cup of vegetarian natural balance dog kibble every day. Because even though I know dogs can thrive on a vegan diet, I'm not going to presume that I know everything there is to know about dog nutrition. The basis for the dog food recipe that I use came from a website called Vegan Heartland. And this is how the recipe goes. Each time I make his food, half of the food is made up of a mixture of beans. This week in particular, it is lentils, and Pepsi loves his lentils. Then about 25% of his food is a grain, and this particular week I'm using rice. The other 25% is made up of green vegetables and orange vegetables. This week I'm using a mixture of frozen yams and sweet potatoes, and then I'm also cutting up some zucchini, which is Pepsi's favorite food. And I'll use 2 cans of organic coconut milk for healthy fats for him. On top of that, a great supplement for dogs is nutritional yeast. It makes their food taste good, and it's very nutritious. Next comes some of the herbs and seasonings that I use, like paprika, cumin, and cinnamon. Obviously these aren't essential, but they make his food taste really good. To start with, I'll throw 2 cups of dry lentils in a pot, then just under a cup of basmati rice. I'll top it with the nutritional yeast. I'll pour in a couple of liters of water. I always add in more water. It ends up being probably about 4 to 5 liters of water I use in each batch of food. Then goes in the coconut milk to the mixture. I'll cook this for a little while until the rice and lentils are soft, and then I'll throw in the sweet potatoes and yams, and I also had an extra carrot, which Pepsi only eats in small chunks. He won't eat big chunks of carrots, so I throw that in as well. After that's cooked up for a little bit, I will throw in the zucchini because it doesn't need as long to cook, and then I added in a few leaves of kale from our garden for extra greens. When it comes to dog snacks, I feed Pepsi these locally made, organic, peanut butter pumpkin treats. They are vegetarian though and not vegan, but I'll only give them to him every other day or so. And his favorite treat of all time is dried figs. We battle it out over the last dried fig because he loves them so much. That is just a loose recipe of what I feed Pepsi. Obviously it changes from week to week. The grains, the beans, the veggies are always changing depending on what is in season and what we have available to us. Now it's time for the Q&A section of this video. The first question is, can dogs be healthy eating a vegan diet? And the answer is absolutely yes. Just like humans can thrive on a vegan diet, so can dogs. Question number 2 is, isn't it just natural for dogs to eat meat? Isn't it animal cruelty to not give your dogs what they really want? There are some dog species, in my opinion, like huskies. I've looked after 10 huskies on a dog sledding ranch. And I've seen huskies rip apart animals. I've seen them eat raw meat, bloody. They love it. On the other hand, take Pepsi, our domesticated sheep herding dog. He has walked by an animal carcass before and just kept on walking. No interest in eating it. The thing with carnivores is that they will eat everything. They don't care if the animal is dead, they don't care if they eat all the fur and the tendons and everything. Yet, time and time again, Pepsi has encountered dead animals in the forest or on walks, and he never tries to eat them. Like I said, domesticated dogs are a far cry from wild wolves, so the comparison isn't even there. The third question is, are dogs getting all the nutrition that they require through a vegan diet? Absolutely, without a doubt. It's, in my opinion, that I don't think any dog should be fed a diet exclusively of kibble, because I personally don't think that is the healthiest diet. That's obviously not what they'd be eating in nature. So I choose to feed Pepsi a mix of home-cooked foods, raw foods. He also eats green smoothies. He has raw snacks. He has his little baked pumpkin treats. I don't think they should survive just on kibble. But with that being said, a lot of the vegan dog kibble out there, there's an extensive amount of research that has gone into it so that all of the nutrition is there for your dog. It's not going to get sick, it's not going to become unhealthy, and if anything, it's going to be a lot healthier than its meat-eating counterparts. The next question is whether dogs can eat fruit in abundance. I would say yes. Most of the time, dogs are not going to eat the amount of fruit that we would eat. I wouldn't feed them too much because naturally it's not their primary source of fuel, but Pepsi does love fruit, and like I said, he has green smoothies and he eats dried figs. And then we have how to transition a dog to a vegan diet. What I did was slowly over a period of a month when we first adopted Pepsi, I fed him his regular store-bought, like Kirkland brand, Costco kibble, and I added in a bit of vegan dog food. And I slowly transitioned him over that month, adding in more and more vegan dog food until he was eating solely vegan. You do not want to put your dog on a vegan diet overnight. It might get diarrhea just from the radical switch in diet. It's just no different than a human. Transitioning is usually easier for a dog because their digestive system can become accustomed to eating the vegan foods and you won't have any messes to deal with. And the last question is, are there any foods that a dog should not eat as a vegan? Yes, there are, but there is some controversy here as well. The first two items that most people say dogs cannot eat at all in any quantity is garlic and onion. I have been told this, but I have also talked to holistic vets, Chinese medicine trained vets, who completely disagree with this. And they say that garlic and onions in small quantities is actually healthy for a dog as opposed to being unhealthy. I do give these foods to Pepsi from time to time, but I make sure to not overdo it. There are some foods like the pits of stone fruits, the pits of avocados, the stems, especially of tomatoes, the dogs can't eat, but you're not usually going to find dogs eating these items. But it is a common misconception that because the dog can't eat the avocado pit or the stone fruit pit or the tomato stem, that they can't eat those foods, meaning tomatoes, meaning avocados and stone fruits. That's not true at all. Pepsi does eat them in small quantities. He eats them on his own without any coaxing from me. And again, I've talked to the vet and I found out that those foods are just fine for a dog to eat. And then it comes to grapes and chocolate. These are foods that generally dogs shouldn't eat at all because they're poisonous for dogs and they shouldn't eat them in any quantities. So that's my video on vegan dogs. I hope you like it. If you did like this topic and it cleared up some questions about transitioning your dog to a vegan diet, I think you should give this video a thumbs up. Or even if you just love Pepsi, and how could you not love Pepsi, give this video a thumbs up. Keep checking back for more videos. I got 5 coming for you every week. And if you want to support the work I do with 40BelowFruity, you can click in the links below, the first one there, to support me through Patreon. I would so appreciate any support you can offer, and I'll see you guys next time.